switches anywhere that there shouldn't be. Maybe later. What attracts me to Develop? I think it's the only conference I've been to where there's all of the developers in the industry that you really want to speak to, but in kind of a small environment. You know, when you go to the bigger conferences, which is sort of great for very different ways, it's very hard to get to speak to the people that you want to speak to because there's just so many people around. But here, you know, I've literally been in a chip shop at 3 o'clock in the morning with Mark Rain. You know, that you can't do that anywhere else or at any other conference, I don't think. Now, you probably sat there thinking, you know, are you going to tell us about physical play, are you? Well, there's, you know, been lots and lots of people making physical play games for years, and you've not done any. Well, we have. Some very old and some not so. Moving on to more closer to the present day, Xbox Live Vision camera, and of course, the Fast and the Furriest. That was something from early in 2006. Some of the guys coming out of the Perfect Dark Zero team were working on. What we were looking for was trying to remove that barrier, one of those barriers to entry, trying to get that kind of fun experience everybody in the family can have, but also try and have that fidelity of control that gamers are like. We still wanted more control than we had with just the camera. The fidelity wasn't there to give a deep enough experience. So we started thinking about wands. I'm not trying to be contentious. And I know what that looks like. It's here. It's a Tesco's vitamin tube with some micro switches and a battery and some LEDs in the end. Now, it might sound an obvious thing to say, yeah, of course, you want as many people as possible to play. But that can be difficult because we want a deep experience for people that are gamers. But we want a simple enough experience that I can play in the living room with my family on Christmas Day. And that's not as easy as it seems. Do I run the same as those three people? It turns out I don't. Do I even know if I'm just told to run, because that's all we want to do, exactly what that means if I'm told to run on the spot? Your Kinect game, because your body literally is the controller, has to be able to interpret all of those and give them a fair race. This is a prototype that was less than a week's work, just keepy-ups. Now, the interesting thing watching Phil's movements is he looks like he's playing keepy-ups. And I can say, going into his office, actually then when we were filming that and playing it, it made me feel like I could do keepy-ups, and trust me, I can't. This is the always moving forward, and I call it the weave mechanic, where you're kind of weaving down the pitch so you can weave around players. And again, well, prototype proved it worked, but still too complicated. So I thought, well, okay, maybe it's the running, maybe going forwards all the time is too much too fast. We needed to remove complexity. So we took out the running completely. What by this is, I mean, you still navigate around the pitch, but you do it by passing. You don't do it by actually running into a position. So the AI controls the positions roughly and always will put people in the right position for you to receive, because the thing we'd worked out from the set pieces was that things like taking corners, taking kicks, they're the real fun part of it. Something like you sort of distill football down to its essence. The really important thing, the thing everybody thinks about, is when you're kicking the ball. You physically really are the controller. Everybody talks about Kinect as being the controller, but I don't think it is. The Kinect is the input mechanism. You are the controller. Certainly that's the case in sports. I think it went off well, and we did have some designers coming up to me at the end saying that was a really good presentation, and when people say that to you, you know, obviously it swells the ego a little bit, maybe. But no, it's just really nice to know that people got something out of it. I do want to be back next year. I really enjoy coming to Develop. I enjoy speaking. It's, you know, it's nice, it's low key, but then there's a lot of people that I, you know, hope get a lot out of it. I've certainly been to some great talks here, you know, in the past. There's a couple that spring to mind, and I'm hoping I'll see a couple of really good ones today. So yeah, I want to be back here in Brighton again next year. So